Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos.
Sporty greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us in London. I'm Austin Okonakwa. Cecilia, thank God it's Friday.
Yes.
And you know what Friday means in our world of sport? It means we're getting into a weekend of more sporting action.
Obviously, more sporting action. And of course, starting with the northern part of Manchester, where Manchester City will be hosting Tottenham Hotspur, who started like house on fire, but right now they are actually dropping down like packs of cards. That's what is happening to Tottenham right now. So that game is something we'll be taking a look at tonight on the program. But then we'll also have the CAF Confederations Cup, the only candidate from Nigeria surviving on the continent. We're talking about Rivers United. They arrived in Ghana this morning for that game against Dream FC that will be taking place on Sunday. We'll talk about that and also touch down on reactions still coming from the Super Falcons camp following their 5-star performance against Cape Verde. Of course, you know the second leg is on Tuesday. And also, we'll talk about the NPFL. Yes, the season is still ongoing after 10 matches. So much more to look forward to with the teams trying to readjust their dreams and desire that they had at the beginning of the season. We'll also touch down on what's currently going on with Everton. They've lodged a kind of a complaint that 10-point deduction, they want to fight it. That's what they say. Now, Rafael Nadal returning, you'll be returning to tennis in Brisbane. That's before the Australian Open. So much to look forward to on the show tonight. And Austin, of course, will actually get into it, starting from the continent, where Rivers United, after that 3-0 act performance, so to speak, against Lobito, they are firing on to see if they can get 6 points. Right now, yes, it's just a match they won. But hey, it's also always good to just look at the table, and when you see that, you just be happy.
That's right, and that's the joy of starting well. I said it on this show the last time, and I kind of gave a charge to Rivers United: act your age, act your experience, show people that in Africa you can be respected. Take a look at some of the teams in Nigeria that have done so well in the past. I referenced Eimba. I also talked about Bendel Insurance, Shooting Stars. It's time for Rivers United to show us that they are not just a flash that will bring a dull picture, So I like that first leg. 3-0 looks decent, but we've seen results in the CAF Confederation Cup and CAF Champions League when you get to win 4-0 and we're still asking questions. I don't want to go back to the past. So Rivers United must be careful. There's still a second leg to be played.
Yes.
I thought they were really, really impressive in the first leg. This second leg will be a bit, tougher. But I think no disrespect again to the opponents, Lobito, but it shouldn't worry Rivers United at this point. All they just need to keep doing is just keep winning properly and try not to lose games when you go away, just so you can gain relevance on the league table, Cecilia.
Yeah, I think that relevance is really important, especially the Dream FC that they will be playing. They lost away in Tunisia, that's against Club Africain. So Rivers United started so well, and now they're facing a team who lost their own game. So all they have to do to see how they can get all 3 points. Yes, it's easier said than done. As you mentioned, Stanley Neguma actually said he's happy that they started well, but they really want to maintain that momentum. Maybe we can take a look at, just confirmation of the game we talked about. Dream FC and Rivers United is going to be in Ghana, right there at the Babayara Stadium. And of course, that's where it will be taking place, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. This is the second Group C game, Sunday's fixture. So Rivers United, they are in Group C. You also have other teams in that group, Club Africain, as I mentioned earlier. But for Rivers United, this is something they want to win. If we can quickly take a look at the slide, the table, because this is what the table is looking like. Now, it's just one game, yes, we understand that. But somehow, when you have your team actually top, you want to be proud of it. Rivers United, after that 3-0 victory, of course, will go difference of 3. And their points after one game, they have 3 points. Club Africain of Tunisia also winning against Dream FC, of course. Academica, which Rivers United defeated Lobito from Angola, they are on 0 points. So these two teams started so well, winning their home games. Well, it's now left for them to see how they can build on that momentum and continue with that. And Austin, as you mentioned, Rivers United understands what's at stake. They are the only team right now on the continent for Nigeria, so they need to win this to get further.
And with Dreams FC, I remember when the draw was made for the group, they were actually celebrating that they had Rivers United and Academica in the same group. So the only team they were respecting was Club Africain of Tunisia. So now they are wounded because they lost their first game. And before going to play that game with Club Africain, I think they lost their last 2 matches in the league in Ghana.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I remember they lost to Tamale 3-1. Then they went and they lost to Club Africain 2-0. And now they get to play Rivers United. And you see, with group permutations, when they look at the group now and see Club Africain and Rivers United with 3 points, the objective for them is very simple. Go and get 3 points also and get relevance on that Group C table. So Rivers United, they have a big job to do. Go out there and play this game against Dreams FC like you are playing at home. Don't be complacent, don't lose guard, but just go out there and say, if you are too careful, then you create more problems for yourselves. Just be adventurous, go out there and show that you deserve some respect. As I've said, this is a team that is struggling to gain relevance in Ghana. They're playing in the continent now. Go show them that just 2 seasons ago, you were champions of the Nigeria Premier Football League. Just last season, you were fighting for the league title again against Eimba. So you're a decent side. And if you take a look at Rivers United and the players that they have, sometimes I look at the bench and I see so much resources available for Coach Stanley Eguma. So it's just a problem of, I think it's a mental switch, particularly what we saw in the preliminary round, Cecilia.
Yes.
Remember that game that they almost sent all of us into the prayer war room to start calling on God? What can they do? And I think 2 minutes of added time, they scored 2 goals and advanced. Now you've started so well by beating Academica in your first match. Beat or avoid defeat. The least they can do on Sunday is to avoid defeat against Dreams FC. And that will just, put them in a good place on the league table, because Club Africain will be going for the kill. And if they do, they'll be on 6 points. So you want to try so much not to be far away from whoever is leading that table, but you have proper peace and rest when you feel like stopping that table.
That's what is at stake. I remember that game that you talked about. Fans were already leaving the stadium. I mean, and when they go, you see all of them rushing back, and it was something they could celebrate. I hope they can continue doing Nigerians proud, because they are the only team on the continent right now. So let's leave the continent and come to Nigeria. Match day 11 of Nigeria Professional Football League games for this weekend. Yes, Eimba had to go to, they were at home against Remo Stars, but they couldn't get the point they needed. They lost that game. We'll talk about that game much later, reactions coming from there. But that's match day 11 fixtures for you. Starting from Saturday, Doma United and Niger Tornadoes will be in action. Aqua United, 2 wins this season, hosting Kwara United. Benin Insurance and Lobby Stars will also be in action. They went to Kano to pick up a point. That game ended goalless. But Lobby Stars are the table toppers, so they will be in Benin City, Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium for that. Eimba, of course, they're at home right this weekend against Sunshine Stars after that 1-0 loss to Remo Stars, which they are still paying by. Hopefully they can bounce back from that and beat Sunshine Stars. Gombe United and Kano Pillars will also be in action. Bayelsa United and Abia Warriors, also another game to look forward to on Sunday. And Remo Stars will welcome Plateau United. Shooting Stars and Heartland also in action. Heartland gets to win this season, another good one. Sporting Lagos will be hosting Katsina United right here in Lagos. So this is what it looks like, match day 11 fixtures for you. Austin, yes, you have so many big games. Well, first we'll have to start off with the Remo Stars and Eimba, what actually happened at the midweek game, that rescheduled game. We thought Eimba needed to win that. You spoke about that game on Tuesday because you feel if Eimba should win this, they will be second on the log. But that didn't happen, because at the end of the day, it was Remo Stars and it was Samin Kadiri who scored that goal, and that was enough for them to win the game. And then 1-0, and that's it. 3 points belongs to them.
And it was a former Eimba boy, Samin Kadri. Fantastic. Sweet header. Timed it properly, was in the right position, and then produced the header. And with that result, Cecilia, it meant that Remo Stars are now undefeated in their last 5 head-to-head meetings with Eimba. Tells you that they know how to play Eimba. If you've met the team 5 times and they struggle against you, so they have the medicine. So it's not safe to call Eimba Remo Stars wife now. No, it's not enough. But with this new start, that in 5 head-to-head meetings, Remo Stars are unbeaten against Eimba, then they know how to play Eimba. What a story. And so he did a lot of things to the table. Lobby Stars are still on top. Remo Stars, they are second on the log. Doma United, they are third. Shooting Stars, they are fourth, and Eimba fifth. If Eimba had won this game, it would have been so sweet for them. I think there have been 4 wins in a row. And look, they've been tired. I think they were tired. It was mentally draining for them. They beat Lobby Stars, went on to play 2 other difficult matches. And, against a Remo Stars that they are trying to prove a lot of people wrong. They have good management. They must prove to those men and people putting money in the team that, look, we can do better. And this is a club that in the last 3 years, they've been trying to keep their relevance and prominence in league football in Nigeria. So they are not a pushover team anymore. So shout out to Remo Stars and everything they are doing to league football in Nigeria. They've brought real good competition. And that's why against, I think they play Plateau United. Yeah. It's still going to be a very difficult encounter for Plateau United when they take on Remo Stars. So yeah, it is what it is. We keep telling people that this is the most competitive football league in the world, and they think we don't know what we're talking about. That game now, Eimba versus Sunshine Stars, will be a cracker to watch because Eimba must prove a point. A team from the southwest shouldn't travel twice to Aba and then insult them. So Sunshine Stars should be ready to be at their best because the elephants will come out strong with giant leaps and the grounds will shake. So I'm waiting to see how Eimba will bounce back from that loss to Remo Stars when they take on Sunshine Stars. I mentioned Remo Stars and Plateau United should be a good match for us to see. And if they win that one, and then Lobby Stars fail to win their game, it means we'll have a new leader at the top of the table. Sporting Lagos and Katsina United, also Sporting Lagos, we love the vibe, we love the energy they're bringing to league football in Nigeria. So that game against Katsina United in Lagos should definitely get us talking, Cecilia. And I'm sure if you've got some time, you'll be out there watching Sporting Lagos.
Definitely, because that's one club you always want to watch their games because of the entertainment they bring into it. I mean, they've been able to blend entertainment and football together. That's what they've been able to do. Each time you go to that stadium, they have time for performance. Yes, it's not as big as you see in the NBA, but usually is something to really look forward to. And the way the fans actually packed into the stadium, they sell tickets, people buy tickets to watch game. I mean, that's something they've come up with. And if you want their jersey, you can actually go to their website and buy. You know, these are some of the things we really want to see, not throwing stadium open. Yes, it's a private club, but government club can also imbibe that. Yes, I know Benin Insurance started that. I don't know if they are still doing it, but last season, that's what they were doing. You could go to their website, get their jersey, you know, you get a ticket, get it to the stadium and everything. So these are some of the things we want to see. And the Sporting Lagos is doing that, telling you that, yes, private clubs can actually come in and not just throw out money, but also make money from football. If more clubs can do that, then you will discover that, yes, more people will actually want to put money into football.
Yes, Cecilia, it's a charge to football administrators in Nigeria, private, state-owned or whatever, because Bendel Insurance, they've shown us now that all of these talks about state-owned football and state-owned clubs cannot function properly is a lie. If you are serious and you put the right people in place, the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, actually took that as a personal project. They got good money. They made business out of merchandising. They got a kit sponsor. Fans started coming back to the stadium. Look, the best way to run a football club is when you give it to the community. Just make it community owned. That's what is happening in England. That's what is happening in Spain, in France, in Portugal, in Italy. It's the community that owns it. That's why that European Super League didn't survive. Because the people came out to say, we own these football clubs. You cannot now push us out of it because you put money into it, because they are putting money into it. So if Sporting Lagos and keep it going, and then look at Bendel Insurance. Look at Shooting Stars with the level of followership that they've got. Eimba, Rangers. When more persons come into our football, put money into it, and the leadership show accountability, credibility, and transparency, you'll see football in Nigeria will get to the next level, Cecilia.
Obviously, it will do that. But let's take a listen to Eimba coach Finidi George talking after the game, and also the coach of Remo Stars and the goal scorer of that goal against Eimba, Samid. Kadiri.
Had a poor warming up. The game was not intense in the first 25 minutes. I think it was like they used that first 25 minutes to really get warmed up properly before I could see my players move, But the first 25 minutes was like, we're a little bit sloppy. It's not the best team that won. Today you saw all the chances that we had. They didn't play in the second half, apart from some long balls that they tried to use, But I think we gave our all. All the chances came from Enyimba in the second half. So if we had converted some of those chances, we will not be talking about which team is the best team. In the second half, we gave our all. I cannot fault the boys for that. We gave our all, tried with everything. It was not possible. So we'll keep our heads up, think about the next match on Saturday.
Well deserved. And maybe the opponent also doesn't deserve to lose after so much effort and resilience from them. Mostly in the last 20 minutes of the second half, they were all around us. All around us. They needed the 3 points. Maybe we deserve one, maybe. But we're lucky to go away with the whole of the 3 points. We have a target to set for ourselves for the first 10 games of the season. We said to ourselves, after the first 10 games of the season, we want to be on top of the table. Now we aim for the sky. We're on the roof. We're not first on the table, but we're second and comfortable. And for us, our aim for the first 10 matches of the season is absolutely achieved. The last time we were all sad, this time we're all happy. This is football. It gives you sad moments, it gives you happy moments, it gives you mixed feelings. We've all had everything. And today we had the side of happiness. We're happy, we enjoyed the moment, and winning in Aba is not a child's play. We play against a very strong team, a team that just finished playing the AFL. And you know what that means. We're happy to have gone with this maximum 3 points.
I'm delighted with the winning of the second away win of the Nigeria Premier League. It's not easy. Although the goal, I thank God Almighty for my coach that believe in me, all those things. It's not be easy for me. First goal for that matter in the first season has been frustrated all this while, but thank God we got the 3 points. We promised ourselves we are coming here for the 3 points, nothing less than the 3 points. And the coach believed in us, and thank God God granted it for us.
Yeah, believing and also getting desired 3 points. And that's why Enyimba are where they are, and Rebel Stars are just a point behind league leaders.
Right.
If Rebel Stars win the league this season, they said, I love what the coach said, Austin. He talked about the first 10 games he's got a target. Now they are entering the next 10 games again, which will take them to 20 games. And then after that, he's going to set another target. Like at each point in time, he knows what he wants to achieve. And for you to set that target for yourself and being second on the log, that means your dreams are, really valid.
That's right. Second away win of the season. After 10 matches, they have 19 points. And at the end of this weekend, if Bendel Insurance beats Lobby Stars and Remo Stars goes on to beat Plateau United, Remo Stars will go on top of the table with 22 points. So that it's all about, I think, management. It's all about ownership. I've said it. I've looked at the model of Remo Stars and what the leadership are doing with the team. They will continue to progress, will continue to advance, because they've got an academy where players will be aspiring to get into the top team. They've got partnerships with clubs in Europe where if you do so well, scouts can pick you, take you to Europe. They've got a coach that is sound. Their coach last season did so well and then found his way in Portugal. Yeah. So there's a lot to look forward to in the club, and it's all ambition. I like it because it brought good competition to the Nigeria Premier Football League. And we love it so much. We want to see more of this sort of competition. Remo Stars doing it. Doma United, and if they have the level of support and the sort of revenue that Remo Stars are commanding, Doma Stars can also do the same. Then let's talk about the big teams that can keep pumping the competition. Enyimba, Rangers, put Bendel Insurance into that mix now. And, it will just see a league where it will be very difficult to predict the top six. I'm not even talking about the top four, the top six, because it has come to a point now where people know that there is no small team in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Just the last match day, I was thinking Aqua United can do something over Niger Tornadoes. It didn't happen, So you can't come out now and say because of Aqua United they are struggling, they're going to beat Kwara United. Go take a look at Kwara United and see how much of a decent team they are. So we love it so much. Congratulations once again to Remo Stars. This is a fantastic win, and it's good for television. It's good for the promotion of the league in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, it's also good for the media because we come here and we talk about beautiful football. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, I know Cecilia cannot wait. She still wants to sing more praises for the Super Falcons. I'll give her the drums, the cymbals. Let us sing. We'll talk about it. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Just gone by the Nigeria Premier Football League. There'll be weekend action. Go support it wherever you are in the country. There are different games, happening across the country. Go out there, support the Nigeria Premier Football League. And that's how we can make it grow, Cecilia.
Obviously, you have to watch your game. If you're in Lagos, you go to Sports in Lagos, you see there. If you're in Benin City, Edo State, of course, you have to go to Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. And if you are in Enugu, go to the Eyimba Stadium. Wherever you are, you'll be able to watch these teams. All right, let's quickly touch down on this one. Which is the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Reaction still coming from the game against Cape Verde. Yes, Cape Verde is another big country and everything, but after seeing what the Super Eagles have done in the last few weeks, you understand that when it comes to football, every country, they are developing the game. They are doing everything possible to ensure that, yes, they do the business. But let's just get confirmation of where and when the second leg of that game against Cape Verde will be taking place. And that's in Cape Verde right there on Tuesday, December 2nd, Nigeria and Cape Verde. And if you look at this result, yes, that's what Nigerians are happy about. 5-0 aggregate. That's the Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier second round fixture, which is the final round qualifier. Super Falcons knew what they needed to do, and they did just that. They did business home and simple, and after that they have all the points. And it's not how do I put it down? So when you see scoreline like this, it makes you happy because you understand that yes, you're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for the whole country, especially when we know that yes, most of the ladies were not around, the so-called superstars, but then you have other stars that were around and they decided to do the business for Nigeria. Now let's let's get reaction from the game before Austin will come in. We'll listen to the coach talking about Deborah Abiodun and what the kind of role she played. He said she is a player that they missed so much. At the World Cup after she got that red card. And also administrators should also know what to do concerning the Super Falcons. We'll also get to listen to Rashida Ajibade, who was a standing captain for the team on that day.
Even at the World Cup, we really missed Abiodun when she was given that red card because she was an upcoming player, full of energy, and we knew what she could bring to the team. Her absence in the subsequent matches, others took up the responsibility, but there is always a difference because no two players are the same. What she would have brought to bear on the team as a then, we had to miss, and somebody else has to take that responsibility. And you can see from what she did today, she just arrived the day before yesterday, and today you can see the performance she has put up. Without anybody saying anything, you know that is not a player that you will toy with. You have to ensure that you keep encouraging her not to rest on her oars, to also work harder so that she can become a much better player than what she is today. Like we all know, all of us are stakeholders in the game. We're all stakeholders, and we know we still have a long way to go. Where there are basic things that will help us to improve the development of the game in the country. And the authorities, I know everybody is trying to do his best to ensure that football in the country is transformed. And so we'll keep working and ensuring that whatever it is that we need to do that will move our game forward, we'll always try our best to ensure that we offer advice in that area and to also appeal to the relevant authorities to ensure that things are done appropriately.
It's a team game, and the most important thing, the team have to win. So individually, we're not important. The team is more important than me. So it's not about me scoring. The most important thing is, it's the goal. Every goal comes from one person doing one thing, one person making the other pass. So nobody's on the island on the field. So it's the combination of one person or the other teammates. So it's a team game, and we play as a team. So I score, I do not score. The most important thing is for the team to win. So I am very important. So the team is more important than I am. But it's very important that as much as we're growing, and if you're aspiring to be great, you just have to keep things consistent. And you don't. For me, I don't get carried away by little success. I believe that whatever level I am today, I could be more. So it's just all about aspiring more and dreaming more, and achieving those heights more. So
yeah, Austin, I believe you listened to the coach and also Rasheedat Ajibade. She got 2 assists in that game. She didn't score, but then being the standing captain, she had a whole lot to give during the match. And also the coach talking about doing the right thing and also moving Nigerian women's football forward.
Right, that's right. I'm so proud of Rasheedat Ajibade. I watched her grow, and her maturity is something that amazes me. How she has grown to be a team player, a contributor, a fighter, and and somewhat a good leader. Being standing captain in that game, I saw how commanding she was, how she was always ready to fight for her team, provide assists. And she came out now to say, look, disregard the goal I scored. Someone touched the ball, gave to someone else, and then it got to me and I scored. So this is team sport. So that's beautiful, Well done, Rasheedat Ajibade. And that's what we're talking about. I will deviate back to develop the league. Cecilia, I know we say this all the time. I knew Rasheedat Ajibade from FC Robo Queens, and from that level, I could tell that she was somebody who is going to be successful playing football, and that's because of the attention that FC Robo Queens they were giving to women's football at the time, And then for Coach Justin Magudu, can the NFF just? I don't like that standing word. Can they just announce this man? You have this job coach. Now. Qualify this team for the WAFCON. Because he's doing so well. Yeah. He's doing so well. He has a good knowledge of the game. He understands the players. They're beginning to get that synergy that we want. Just announce him so that, because Cecilia, the media, what these guys don't know, we're a watchdog to the society. What your neighbor cannot ask about, if I know about it, I'll come ask the NFF. Where is Coach Randy Wardrum? What is his contract? And those are distractions. Coach Justin Magudu has shown that, look, it's about developing the Super Falcons of Nigeria and taking them to the level where they will be respected. And he's got eyes on the prize. He's focused on that mission, and he's doing it. If they go now, beat Cape Verde, or irrespective of the result, I know they're not going to lose to Cape Verde, they'll qualify for the WAFCON. Let the man know that he has a job to do and start preparing this team. That's the way forward. So congratulations to the Super Falcons. I just hope that they keep the momentum going.
Yeah, that's what we are hoping for. He's the assistant coach. He was with the team at the World Cup. Himself and Anchie Gina, both of them were there with Randy Wardrum on the bench. And when he spoke about Deborah Abiona, that's what I understand. Yes, he knows these players very well, how key some players can be. I mean, yes, they got a replacement for her, but sometimes your substitute may not be as perfect as the person that is playing that role. And I love what he said about that particular player. It shows he knows the players so well, and also relying on the home-based players. Sometimes you may not get the plethora of the foreign players that you want. Make do with what you have, and you get the job done, and no excuses. You can't say, oh, we didn't have our star players, because I remember at the Africa Cup of Nations last year in Morocco, when we were saying, oh, Asisat got injured early, and Okpara didn't come. We were trying to make excuses for why they had their worst performance, ever at the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. But now you're seeing that, yes, you may not have those key players. You can have other players coming in. I love what Ashley Plumter said, concerning how she has been absent from the squad. She said she's not 100% fit. She wants to be there when she's 100% fit. And also opportunities for younger players that didn't have a chance to play at the World Cup. So also play. And we're actually seeing this during these qualifiers. So maybe we can always rely on these players during qualifiers. And then when we have the foreign base to come, yes, you can actually have a blend of the foreign and the home base. And also you can actually have another team B for the Super Falcons. That will also help so that we don't have headaches of emails of players didn't say they were not going to come and ticket and everything. It's a whole lot.
What it will do, it will pump up the competition. Now look at that role where Deborah Abiodun is playing. 2 years ago she was with the under 20.
Yeah.
Now it looks like she has a permanent shirt in the Super Falcons. Christy Uchebe, we need to think about her role, and the other players who've been there for some time, because This is Deborah Abiodun showing that she's got the quality and getting better match after match. That's the sort of competition you want to keep, because for you to be the best at every department, your reserve should be able to come in and make a difference. In fact, that's why they're called super sub.
Yes.
So you don't want people to say, oh, they don't have assistants or shadows, so they're not going to win. We will not get goals. That's not a winning team. So I like what is happening, and it's a clear testament that Coach Justin Magudu didn't just play the role of an assistant. He was probably watching more than Coach Randy Waldron, because he is homebound and he knows what we need in Nigeria to develop women's football.
Yeah, he knows what we need, and hopefully he's given a chance to actually see what he can do with the team. All right, let's go to England, Austin. Sure. We'll just look at the games for this weekend. I mean, so many games to look forward to. So let's start off with Arsenal and Wolves. Now, 6-star performance in Champions League. They take that. They're still at the Emirates. That's where they scored the 6 goals. It's going to take place. Brentford and Luton will lock horns. Burnley and Sheffield United on that game to look forward to. Nottingham Forest and Everton will also be in action. Newcastle and Manchester United will be in action. Yes, that's the game we'll be looking at much later. You flip over to the games for Sunday, and you have some big games coming up where you have that Tottenham and Manchester City. But then we'll start off with Bournemouth and Aston Villa, Chelsea and Brighton, Liverpool, Fulham, West Ham, Crystal Palace, and Manchester City and Tottenham. That will wrap up the Premier League for this weekend. Now, which one are we starting with, Austin? Of course, it's going to be Manchester United at St. James Park, Newcastle and Manchester United. And Onana is still in the picture. And you mentioned talking about the fact that Onana might just be, the, how do I put it now? Maybe the catalyst that will be responsible for the exit of Coach Erik ten Hag. But he loves this goalkeeper and he feels he will come good. He also believes that, yes, he was fantastic on Wednesday. In that, the game they could have won, but then at the end of the day, they lost.
Cecilia, you cannot blame Erik ten Hag. He will defend what he bought and try not to make it look like they are missing David De Gea, because in this world, I don't understand why Manchester United disposed De Gea the way they did. Yes, Onana was top-notch last season. Yes, Onana was instrumental for Inter Milan getting to the final of the UEFA Champions League, but this is football. If you don't fix your defense line, I think you're not going to have a good goalkeeper. Onana has been slippery. Onana has conceded soft goals, but Onana has also helped Manchester United this season. But people will only remember when you don't do the good things. This man is under serious pressure. Erik ten Hag has no choice than to always come out and defend his players. What you want to do, if you want to end your job as a coach, is when you come out to speak against your players. Just forget it. You've lost your dressing room. They're going to go out there and they'll mess you up. So he said that Onana is still among the best goalkeepers in the world. That's his opinion. He's the coach of Manchester United, and he bought Onana, so he can say that. But against Newcastle, it's going to be very difficult. But I've been looking at the stats for this match. Manchester United might just do the unthinkable, and they know how to beat teams when they want to, on the line when they want to, because these days they're showing that they don't want to win. If you look at the league table, they're just ahead of Newcastle. Manchester United are 6th on the log with 24 points. Newcastle, they are 7th with 23 points. And if you even go further to look at the statistics, Newcastle, in their last 5 matches, is a draw, win, loss, and win. Manchester United is a draw, win, loss, and a win. So 3 wins for Manchester United, 2 for Newcastle. It means we're going to have a competitive game. Newcastle will be trying so hard to win that game to get back to reckoning. Manchester United will be trying to win this game to get the media off their back and gain some confidence. Let's listen to Erik ten Hag.
If you analyze it well, then you see he's the 2nd best goalkeeper in the Premier League, based on stats. So his expected preventing goals is the 2nd best in the Premier League. So yeah, he's doing well. But yeah, also and he knows that in Champions League he makes some mistakes. But all over, if you see first 5 months, he's doing particularly well. But you know also, because you have seen how he is reacting on a bad performance like he did after Munich. He was in Burnley, he was outstanding. So he's a strong character, he's a personality, and he will deal with it. On the Wednesday, we played very good. And also in Copenhagen, we played very good. And even in Bayern Munich, we played very good. But we have to do some things better. Eliminating the individual errors and also things in defense transition. But we can sort this out. And I would more concerned if we didn't play this that well.
That's right, Eric Ten Hag, saying, I don't care what you guys are talking about. My Onana is second best in the Premier League and went out to read games where Onana has done so well. But it also doesn't mean that people cannot criticize Onana because Cecilia, I think I'll stop some of the balls that Onana, has let into his net this season. Yes. And also, Eric Ten Hag should fix his inconsistent defense line.
Yeah.
That could also be what is affecting Onana, but that's his problem to deal with, Cecilia.
That's why he's getting paid. But then I love what he said about Onana in terms of his confidence level, in terms of he expects him to have a better goal showing at the goal against Newcastle, and also he understands the defense problem, which he says they will work on. And this has been happening since last season, so it's not just this season. Yeah. Since last season, he's talking about working on defense. And match day what now? Into the new season, and you're still talking about that. So if you keep talking about one particular problem and you're not solving it, so it simply means maybe you don't know what you're doing. But let's see what, he's got confidence in his players, believing that they can have a good showing at St. James Park. Let's see what's going to happen in that game, because he understands his players, he understands his problem, he has pointed it out. It's left for him to work on it, and that's why he's getting paid. All right, let's leave Manchester United and go to the other side of Manchester, which is Manchester City, the champions of the league. Tottenham will be visiting. Now, Tottenham in the last, 3 games? They started so well. They were topping the league, and right now you have Arsenal at the top of the table, followed by Manchester City. What position are they now? 6th or 5th? Yeah, they've dropped out of the top 4, but they will be welcoming Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola, usually he knows how to talk about his opponents. The respect he's got for Angel Postecoglou. A lot of respect he has for the guy who came to the Premier League and started it on fire.
Yeah, Pep Guardiola and his mind games, they're never ending. And for this game, Manchester City, they will be hoping that Arsenal will slip against Wolves. I don't see that happening. Red hot gunners at the moment. But for Tottenham, they will also be trying to do good to their North London rivals. And if they can beat Manchester City at the Etihad, that's tough to even think about. It's the Etihad, and it's difficult when you go there to play Manchester City. They're going to take all of their pressing games to you. The fans are singing and shouting, and with the level of expectation from the owners of the club down to Pep Guardiola on the players, they will just come at you just to get the points, So it's going to be a pretty difficult game for Tottenham when they travel to the Etihad to take on Manchester City on Sunday. And if you take a look at the stats, I always go to the stats. The last 5 wins, Manchester City, they have won 3 out of their last 5. So it's 2 draws and 3 wins for Manchester City. And in the last 3 matches, Cecilia, as you mentioned, it's been 3 losses for Tottenham and 2 wins. So in a way, if Manchester City should blink, they will be asking questions. Let's listen to Pep Guardiola.
He make football a better place, persons like Ange. So because his teams is, I'm manager, I said many times, but at the same time I'm a spectator. And I enjoy a lot watching them, the approach they have, and I think all the Spurs fans and the people in England can admit that the impact has been quick and really, really good. To ask you if you're going to change people play against us? Absolutely not. This is not going to happen. We'll be surprised. But I remember I met just once in I don't know, 3 or 4, pre-seasons ago when we were in Japan. We played against Yokohama, a team of the group, and then was there the manager, and I saw some clips before, some games before we started pre-season. It was the first or second pre-season game. And I said, wow, there are things that I like it. And I said to the players, so the more I have to be, I know we are not ready because we are in pre-season, they were in competition, but the more we're going to face a good team with challenges, intense build-up, how intense is high pressing, how use the keeper to make the process.
Yes, sir. Pep Guardiola and his never-ending praise for his opponents, But Manchester, for Tottenham, Cecilia, they need to put in the work because if you check the way they lost their last game to Aston Villa, and I think they also lost to Wolves, and then they lost to Chelsea. But for Pep and their league run, it was just that 1-1 draw against Liverpool that they still ruined the chances that they missed. So they will come out with their firepower on Tottenham.
Yeah, definitely. No matter where the results will go, we're going to expect plenty of entertainment. And Postecoglou has a way of actually talking about Manchester City, especially the way they play. Yes, he's got injury problems. Some players are not available. But he understands what he needs to put in place to ensure that 3 losses back to back to back will definitely not repeat itself when to go to Manchester City. 5th on the log, dropping out of top 4. Not a good way to go to Etihad to try and see if you can beat the champions. Let's take a listen to Ange Postecoglou talking ahead of the game on Sunday.
Working off to the side. Good boys, good. Same again on the straight across. Snaps it off to the left, a little bit quicker. On to your right side, ready? Good, next man's in. Peel out. 70, come on.
No, not really, because, irrespective of kind of what team you got, it's always going to be a challenge playing against, City and any team that sort of Pep manages, and you love that, you relish that. That's the kind of arena you want to be in, measuring yourself against the very best. And it'd be great if things were a little bit smoother for us, but it is what it is. And I still think during this period, even last week, there were moments in the game where we played some fantastic football, and that's what we just got to crack on. We just got to get on with it. Ultimately, we can't take our eyes off what we're trying to achieve here, and that for me is always paramount to everything I do, every decision I make. Every sort of time we put a team out there, it's about us, becoming the team we want to become, and through that process, there's going to be some challenges, as there is now, some tough times, and you just got to stay really focused on what you're trying to achieve. I don't do what I do because of, I've said before, trying to prove a point. It's just, you look at the top teams, and there's one sort of common trait amongst them. They've all got a plan. They invest in that plan and they stick to it. Yeah, they don't shy away from the first difficulty. You look at whether it's City or Arsenal or Liverpool, all the teams that have dominated in recent years. They've got a plan, they stick to it. Yeah, you can sort of shy away from, what, we've got injuries, we're playing Man City away, and, but you're either going to be a club that tries to knock off the big clubs, or you're a big club. You're one or the other. My hope and my ambition for this club is to make it a big club.
Making it a big club. Now, for him to be able to make it a big club, he needs to beat the big teams. And then he says he's not going to change his styles, despite the fact that he has lost 3 on the bounce. Absentees, injuries. How is he going to cope? I don't envy Postecoglou at this moment.
I can't blame him, because it's this same style that got us talking about Tottenham at the start of the league. So just look at it this way. They have 26 points now, Cecilia, and if something right just happens at the Etihad on Sunday, and Aston Villa don't win, Liverpool don't win, Tottenham will be back to second. Yeah. That's how this thing works.
Just
that's
3 points adrift of Man City.
So that's the big man, and that's what Postecoglou is trying to say, that for you to chill with the big boys, you will be able to beat them when you play them. So that's just what it is. Let's wish him all the best, Cecilia. I don't know if we've got time to talk about Everton lodging that appeal for that 10-point deduction, or we gotta go.
You just touch down on it. Let's go. Can they succeed in this one?
So that's it. They're saying, look, it's unfair. They still feel it's unbelievable. the findings of the Independence Commission, the 10-point deduction. So they've lodged an appeal. They have a right to appeal it. But Cecilia, with everything I've been hearing right here in England, I don't think that's 10-point deduction will be reversed. But yes, they have lodged that appeal, and truly, it's not going to do any good for Everton if that appeal doesn't go anywhere, because that game against Manchester, was like putting salt on their wounds. So at the moment, the fans are asking a lot of questions. Let's wait to see what the result out of this appeal will be. That's the show. But Cecilia, you got the memo for the color, right?
Yeah, I got it.
So, I like it. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin O'Connor, and in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
And in Lagos, I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night's rest.